Hello, in the new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the new Little Cup remix version here, and we have the team that I already showcased as well in the best team video, and I can definitely say this team works out pretty well. But there is one kind of issue right now, for me at least. Like, I have crazy queue times in this cup, and I also have crazy queue times in the Auto League. Like, I don't know if nobody is playing it anymore. I'm not that high of an elo. Like, you saw me climbing a little bit compared to my last videos, because I just played off screen and then I climbed up like 400 points pretty easily. So now we're gonna take a look at this team here. We of course have now more like the lamer-ish Pokemon here, like the good Pokemon, a good team that you can run. Also, like, I can talk a little bit about what I faced and what is really good against this team. Drifloon, for example, if you don't get out Drifloon early on and you have your Onyx going, it's kind of tricky, but yeah, this team's definitely a little bit interesting. We saw like a lot of different Pokemon. We actually didn't see that many Wynaut, which I didn't expect. I thought Wynaut would be a little bit more common. I also don't think that Wynaut, as I already said in the team builder, like in the general meta-analysis video, I don't think that a Wynaut is even actually that insanely good. It's still very good, like, don't get me wrong, it's most likely the best Pokemon in the meta. But I don't think it's as good as people say it is, and I can say was pretty right with this thinking there, because it's actually not the best Pokemon in general. Like, you don't have any pressure with your charge moves really. It's not as bulky as its a big brother Wobbuffet in terms of the HP, so it's still manageable for most people to deal with this Pokemon, and there are a lot of good answers in this cup as well. For example, Drifloon, which completely hardwalls this Pokemon. So yeah, one MVP of this team is definitely the Onyx, as expected as well in the meta-analysis video if you didn't see it yet. Rock-type Pokemon gonna have a very big impact on this meta just because they destroy the Pokemon that destroy the Wynaut. And there are a lot of them, so the Onyx in general was one of the best Pokemon that I can bring. I also gonna try out later on in some video Nosepass, most likely. Nosepass is a very good alternative compared to like Onyx. But after playing those cups, like this cup in general right now, I can definitely say that, for example, for Nosepass, you could have the choice between Spark or Rock Throw. Rock Throw seems to be a very good move in this current meta. You have stuff like, also on my team, the Shelmet, which would be weak. You have stuff like the Venonat, which is weak. And there are a lot of more Pokemon that are weak for it. Also, where it's really good against is something like Vullaby, which I actually faced, I think, 3 times. I don't know how many people have like Vullaby with the actual right amount of CP, because I don't have it for myself. But we're gonna see here, I think, on my opponent's part as well, the U-Pada in the back, where also the Onyx is really decent against. We are debuffed, we have to throw a move here, we don't get to the other charge move which does more damage, but we can debuff the opponent's defense while allowing us to get to another move here before they already surrender. What I can say as well about this in general, the batches actually are taking way longer than I expected. Like, it's not as fast as you thought it would be. So like, it's like, for example, if you know Element Cup was like 2 minutes per battle max. Here, because you still have stuff that's a little bit more bulky, I actually went to timer once, which is kind of insane, because like you have like not the craziest stuff. Like, it's actually also not that crazy bulky. I mean, why not compared to like Nevastodon or whatever? It's not as bulky, but it's still like, yeah, sometimes it can just take a while, especially if you're in those matchups where Wynaut is against Wynaut. That's a lot of fun always. As I see my opponent having the Drifloon here, but again, Drifloon has to throw a charge move because you can't really farm us down there with the Hex damage. Hex damage will not be able to do enough, and we already put them into yellow health, and we put them into a range where they have to throw their move. But if this is an icy wind, we should be able to still survive it, because we're kind of bulky, of course. And we can go for one Mirror Coat, getting the shield from my opponent, and Onyx gonna have a nice time here against those Pokemon where all the moves are super effective. Totally take this. We're gonna see my opponent going for the Icy Wind, and we get this thing completely down. We see the Skorupi coming in, we're gonna debuff the opponent's defense dead, while we can now basically try to swap onto the right Pokemon. No, we just farm down. I think my opponent's around there anyway at this point of time, basically. Seeing a horrible lead here with the Wynaut against us, we mirror onto our own Wynaut while we get greeted by the Spritzy. Also, one of the best charm users in the current cup. It's pretty bulky actually. You can even use it in the open Great League if you have a Hundo, which is kind of nice. But yeah, this thing is just wiggling around, which looks kind of hilarious in my opinion. but Thunderbolt gonna hurt, and I'm of course not really familiar with all the matchups, how they are going, so I did not shield this because I thought I'd get to another move, but I miss out literally by 1 turn, which is kind of sad. But this is how the life is sometimes, as we can farm my opponent down. Getting the the Shelmet onto the Ducklet, this was just a hard counter throughout the entire game here, which was kind of sad, but this is how it is. You have a lot of RPS elements in this cup as well, like sometimes you just hard walls, sometimes the opponent's hard walls. It really depends on what you face, so yeah, it's sometimes just very RPS and you cannot do anything. That's just how you have to expect this cup. So it might not be the most interesting there for most people, Ultra League. I'm also gonna do at least 2 Ultra League videos, but I really want to push at least like 4 videos for this cup as well, including this one, because I built some cool stuff that I want to showcase. And there's of course one Pokemon, if you already know this channel, which I have to showcase. This is just like the channel favorite, which basically never had some play, doesn't have play in this cup either because of the horrible moveset, but it definitely has to be a video on Tuesday, most likely when it comes out. But also, what we have to consider, we have just got a new event announced, which I'm also going to make another video, most likely separate tomorrow towards it, where you get the Hisuian Pokemon the week after, which is going to be very nice. So I have to save some starters anyway, which I hope I can do during this week as well. And so I can showcase all those Pokemon, because it's actually going to be interesting to see all the Hisuian Pokemon coming in, as well as like the Pokemon that are featured in the event. Very cool event, definitely. Sadly, like a lot of stuff is locked behind X, but a separate video also on how good those Pokemon can be gonna be tomorrow, most likely on my channel. It's a little bit late for this tonight. As we see a Volby here against us, a Volby definitely has to throw some moves here, as we're gonna be actually able to counter them down to a range where they have to throw. And if they're not a Brave Bird here, we should be able to easily win this game, as I actually didn't expect that I would lose CMP against Volby here, but it doesn't really matter. 1 foul play is not enough to do enough damage to KO us here, so we can go for 1 body slam and finishing this Volby off, as we see the next opponent having a Ducklet lead again. Onyx is like really good, as we see a Wynaut. I'm not really familiar with this cup, so it took me a second to swap out here, but we swap into our Wynaut, because why not? As we can go for 1 Mirror Coat. Like, I'm surprised that I haven't done this joke yet, but yeah, why not doing it now? As we see some Icy Winds coming through. The Icy Winds of course gonna debuff our attack, as we can reach for another move. They still have to throw the move, and this is the kind of insane part about the Wynaut. Of course, opponents can take advantage if they have like a decent matchup, but they still have to throw their charge moves in order to KO me here. Especially Bubble Beam doesn't do enough, so I can still get to another move and we can counter them kinda down, which is gonna be nice. The Mirror Coat comes through and we have him already in the yellow health, even though it's a really bad matchup for us, but they have a ton of energy. But even though Onyx double is like double weak to water, you can still survive 1 move pretty easily. And we can get those move through, getting this Ducklet really low, seeing the Wooper in the back, the super duper Wooper here going ahead for some body slams, which you can take pretty easily. Shelmet is a really nice stat product for this kind of cup. Shelmet is a pretty nice move pool as well for this cup here, with body slam and the infestation and the bug buzz going ahead and going to do some pretty nice damage against this Wooper as well soon. We have to bait the bug buzz here, because I kind of have to hit the bug buzz to win this game. It's kind of awkward here because my opponent has a shield advantage. We're going to go ahead. Body slam comes through. Do we get the final shield from my opponent? We do. Can we get to the bug buzz? We can get to the bug buzz. And at this point, it looks pretty nice, as we can just now swap into our Onyx and go ahead for 1 charge move here. Trying to get the debuff, getting the debuff, farming this thing down, winning us the game. Good game to my opponent. There's nothing my opponent can do here anymore. Also, right now it's really hot here for me. I don't know if it's the same for you. It's like around 40 degrees here, which is never really the case in Germany. So it's a little bit sweaty even at 11 PM at this time, which is kind of interesting. But I don't know, like climate change is definitely not a thing. Yeah, it's insane like how temperatures rise recently. Really scary, to be honest, for the future. We see my opponent having this Garupi here, going up with 1 Sandtomb. Sandtomb gonna debuff the opponent's defense, and we're looking pretty decent, but them going into this Pokemon here kind of tells me that they're weak against this Pokemon as well in the back, which is right. They have the Vullaby in the back, kind of telling from how they played their team. We're gonna go ahead, go into go for one Santum, gonna get the debuff and get him into the red health. And at this point, I'm gonna try to catch the move on the Shelmet, which works out perfectly here. Going to catch the foul play, which doesn't do that much damage, as we can farm down my opponent all the way, and they're just gonna decide to surrender here. Of course, towards our even longer going queue times, it's always not the best idea to then even win all the games, because then you just climb up even more, which is gonna be a little bit awkward. As we're gonna see my opponent having a Wynaut there, this damage definitely didn't do that much there. It was definitely a bug. Miracle never would do that much damage to a Wynaut. Our Wynaut actually is not fully XL, by the way. As you can tell by the CP, we have 490, we still need 3 more power-ups. One power-up is 3 CP extra, which is insane how little it is, but I don't have enough XL kidney, as I already built an XL Wobbuffet, and this was all I had. Still cost me around 400k Stardust, which is not little, as we see my opponent going into their Wynaut again. We can go for a Santum. This is kind of the situation where I really wanted to be in, as they have to throw their move here. They are debuffed now, and I can basically align my Pokemon however I want to. Seeing my opponent going for a Miracle here, it's pretty nice, as we're gonna go ahead and go for one Bug Buzz. This Bug Buzz comes through. Should maybe get a shield here. We actually get a shield here from my opponent. We can shield up as well, and we can farm up extra energy. We are in such a decent matchup. We don't really have to be scared about anything. They're gonna swap into their Ducklet. We can go for one more Body Slam. This Body Slam easily knocks it out, and we see the final Pokemon of my opponent, which is gonna be... let's see, a Jangmo. Oh, really cool choice here actually. Having access to Dragon Tail, gonna be a very nice sweeper. We're gonna store one move here while our phone decides to say that it's overheating. What a surprise. Again, the temperature right now is insanely high. My phone even said it's overheating today without me even using it, which was kinda insane. Yeah, it's like so hot here right now, but luckily it's only for one day. As my opponent gonna go here for more moves, we can go for a nice... what's it called, a mirror code against this Wynaut here. They're gonna go ahead, go for their own, and I'm gonna spoil out now at this point of time. I'm gonna try to build up to 2 moves here. That's my only play of winning this game. Build up to 2 moves, and you're gonna see up top already the switch clock is coming. The game clock is coming up, and we literally win this game here on the last second. Again, this went to timer, which is insane because we're playing Little Cup. Like, it's supposed to be the squishy cup where nobody has any kind of bulk, but yeah, we see a Drifloon. We kind of get hardwalled here, which is kind of sad, as they go for Icy Wind. Yeah, this match up against Drifloon can take actually a longer while. Going for the Icy Wind is the actual right play for my opponent's Drifloon, as yeah, you can just go ahead and actually go then for Shadow Ball, which they didn't do here, which is not the right play, but they might be just single moved. Actually, Icy Wind only Drifloon should be also fine, to be honest. But Shadow Ball would be, of course, a little bit better. But it actually seems like they are just single moved and go ahead for the Icy Wind. Or they just wanted to get them lower so I don't get as much farm. I don't know. Either way, there's no way of winning this matchup for the Wynaut, as we can go for one Rock Throw against this thing and going for another one and farming this thing down. We can go ahead into our Shelmet, and we see the Lickitung coming in here. This last game here gonna be still insane, as we are really far behind right now. We have to bait everything here, and they're not gonna even let this, like, whoa, they're not even shielding this potential Bug Buzz here, which is kind of sad. They're gonna go ahead and go for the Stomp. I'm gonna have to go ahead and overfarm a lot, go for a Body Slam here, but they're gonna go for another Stomp, and I have to get both shields from my opponent. I have to farm all the way down, and like, it's gonna be a tough one. We can go for one Body Slam here. We're gonna go ahead and go for another Body Slam. Do they shield this as well? We have to see. They're gonna shield this as well. We can go for one more quick move and go for another Body Slam. Does this KO my opponent's Lickitung here? It actually does not, but we can farm them down, and we have to get to another Bug Boss here, and we have to swap out in time before they're gonna throw their charge move here. My play here right now is to go for one Santum. A Santum should debuff my opponent's defense, and maybe one Bug Boss is enough to win this final game here of this video. We will see. Bug Boss comes through. Is this enough to KO this thing? It is just barely not, and they survive with exactly 1 HP in a dream. So that's gonna be it for the video. Thanks for watching. See you next video. Have a great rest of the day. Tomorrow we're gonna still have one video at 1 PM my time at least for the Staraptor again. So see you there.